Sound check is working. Okay, we're good.
Wow.
All right.
Are you recording this?
I am. We are now recording for evermore.
Ow.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a sports commentator. They don't see me, you just see what I write. Okay. Given this problem, we're supposed to figure out when F is concave up. Therefore, a great place to start is to write a sentence on your paper that will guide you through the rest of the problem. The sentence you should write is, F is concave up. I will write it shortly. So you write F is concave up. When we don't want to pay attention to the fact that F is concave up when F prime is increasing. Increasing is a great idea if you have a graph to look at. If you do not have a graph to look at, it's a really bad idea. It tends to lead to errors. So we're going to skip that. We're going to go right to F is concave up when F double prime is positive. Questions? Cool. And what we're learning about today is what's known as a sign chart. And the reason a sign chart is a really effective and easy method is you don't have to really calculate very many numbers. You just have to pay attention to positive and negative and zero. So it's a lot easier than paying attention to numbers. Please, Jesse.
Just to clarify, finding F double prime is when you find the derivative.
Perfect. 2 points. 2 points. So, as Jesse said, based on this sentence, seems pretty clear I need to find F double prime. So going around the room here, start with Tucker. So if I take this formula and I put it into ddx, both sides, the left side will become F prime of x. What will the right side become?
Not entirely sure.
Okay. What will the right side become?
15x to the fourth.
There we go. Point for Tucker. 2 for Brady.
Minus 60x squared.
Does anyone want me to talk more about that? Please.
Where do you, so like let's say it's not really this problem, but
You're
like,
okay.
if it was the equation and then it had like a +5, when we would do the derivative of it, that +5 would become 0. Where does that go?
You forgot the square.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you,
60x
thank you,
squared.
thank you. As far as the derivative, it's 0. The reason it is 0 is if you have any formula, we'll say g of x, and that formula is whatever, just make up anything you want to think of. Doesn't matter. Something really bizarre, okay? If one of the terms of that formula, like the formula has to be termed, if one of the terms of that formula is a constant and you were to make a graph of the formula, the only thing this is doing is it is shifting this graph up or down. Up in this case. It has no effect on the tangent slope of this graph. So that's why when we take the derivative,
It does
0, because it has no effect on the tangent slope. That make sense?
Yeah.
Good question, 2 points. Yeah,
It doesn't change the slope at all, it's just where
correct.
actually.
Yeah, if I draw a graph like this,
slope, just higher or lower.
yeah, look, here's a graph. How many tangent slopes does that graph have?
One.
No, lots of tangent slopes. They're just everywhere there's a different slope. But if I shift that graph down,
It's the same slope there.
the slope's still the same everywhere. So that's why the constant term has no effect.
You can that just be anything. Yeah. That's-
Pretty good? Cool, good question. Here we need F double prime. So we got to do ddx to both sides again. So we'll go to Nicholas. So if I do ddx to both sides again, What would be the next line I would write?
That'd be 60x to the third.
Doing great. Just make sure you always do something equals something.
Oh, sorry. F double prime of x is
There we go.
equal to 60x to the third minus 128x.
Nicely done, Nicholas. Nicely done. 2 points. Questions? I can't remember if I told you this. I thought it was funny. One time a student came back and said they were watching one of my videos to help them with something. And I have a tendency when the class, I kind of need to get you all back together, I'll just like whistle to get your attention. And she's like, yeah, I was doing my homework and you whistled and my dog came running. And I told her, I went, dang, don't get to tell you what the twice. All right. We good? Like that, yeah. Perfect. Point to Matthew and he'll whistle for me. Okay, we got F double prime. Look. We need to figure out, hey, we need to figure out, look. We need to figure out for what x values is F double prime positive. That's not particularly easy unless you can remember how to graph, which I don't. And I don't expect you to either. Not really a part of this class. Or you can factor F double prime, if at all possible. Once factored, it becomes much easier to understand. Sometimes you can't factor, but if you can, you definitely want to. So Zeke, what would be the factored version of F double prime?
Take out, I was thinking quadratic, and it's not a quadratic. Yeah, I'm blanking.
It's okay. Point. Let's go, Jess.
Can you take out the 60?
And what else?
X.
Nicely done. So once those are factored out, Jess, what remains?
60 times 60x times x squared
Nicely
minus
done.
60. No, minus 2.
There we go. 2 points for Jesse. That's good work. Questions? Cool. Okay, the next thing, everyone must memorize that what you are now going to write on your paper is highly valuable. Meaning, on the written section of the AP test, if you write what I'm going to tell you to write, you will often get a point, even if you do nothing else. And that is no exaggeration. So the easiest point to gain on the entire test is what I'm about to show you. We need to figure out when F double prime is equal to 0. So write that on your paper. F double prime is equal to 0 or undefined. That often will earn a point on the written section. F double prime of x is equal to 0 undefined when, I'm going to go to Olivia. The excitement is palpable. Okay,
What does that mean?
that just means I can feel how excited you are. So,
Is it sarcastic?
no, it was not meant to be, well, kind of, but not meant to be in a mean way. Like I said, let's go to Olivia, and you're like, huh, like you weren't really excited. It was going to you, and so I was just trying to play off of yours. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It really wasn't meant to be mean.
No, it's okay. I don't get it.
Yeah, probably just means, like you kind of act like, oh yeah, I'm really excited about that. And so I was just, same thing. Is that fair? Okay, cool.
I'm chilling.
You're good. Chilling is good, right? Don't know y'all language anymore. Okay. Olivia, what x's will make F double prime equal 0?
0.
Perfect. Any others? So let me help you. More points coming. Get ready to mark them down. Factors or terms? Yep. How many?
2.
2 is fair. You could have said 3. Either one would work. So we've got, here's a factor, here's a factor. I could have said 60 separate. Doesn't really matter. Everybody, 2 more for Olivia. Okay, all of you, when you see 2 factors and they're multiplying to give 0, hands up. What must you know at that moment? Like, come on, hands. You learned this in 3rd grade. You see 2 factors, they multiply. The result is 0. You know something instantly. Like, no doubt. What do you know instantly, Hope?
One of them equals 0.
One of the factors must, one or both. One must be 0. How many knew? 2 points, 3 for Hope. So Olivia did really well. She looked at this one and said, well, that's not bad. If x is 0, the first factor will be 0. And it will not matter what the second factor is. So now you just swap that thought. You say, is there an x that makes the second factor 0? Look at it.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but because it's 2, I don't know, what would you, because you can square 1 and it's not 2, so I don't know. Like,
No worries. It's root 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
And you need to list both of them. 2 more for Olivia. Anybody else? I need to give more details. I can always do more, just gotta ask.
So positive and negative, that, okay, it's because it's
Oh, yeah, weird.
it's squared. So a positive and a negative, it's still the same thing.
2 for Eli, sorry. Anybody else? He gets 2 points.
We take 2 points from you, right?
No. We good? Okay, please.
So if you write like f double prime equals 0 when blah blah blah, that gets you missing point.
Even better. On the written section of the AP test, I have seen many examples over many years where for a given problem, not necessarily this one, but for a given problem, if you only write this, you get a point. If you write the next line, you get a second point. Sometimes they lump them and just give 1 for both. Just depends.
Also, why are we writing that?
Why are we writing it?
Yeah.
The reason we're writing it is we're going to make a chart now. 2 more for Jenna. We're going to make a table. I call it a chart, either way. X and F double prime. But the chart method, this sign chart method, will not work unless we begin with the values of x, which cause whatever we are charting to either be 0 or undefined. So I cannot make the chart properly unless I do that first. Is that okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? So you make a list. Make sure you put them in order. So negative root 2 is the most negative. Make sure you leave a space in between. You're going to have to write in another number. 0 would come next, and then root 2. Okay. Questions? Okay, the next question is not meant to be a trick, but I got to make sure you're following. So Kira, what would go in this column next to those 3 numbers?
Wouldn't they all just be zeros?
Yeah, because that's what we figured out. So just got to make sure we don't forget that. 2 for Kira. And you need to talk about anything. Perfect. Okay, now all we have to do is keep building the chart. So Emmeline, I just need you to tell me a number that is more negative than negative root 2. Can be any number you would like, as long as it is more negative than negative root 2. It is smart to pick a number that's fairly easy to work with. I'm not going to pick 16,487. Okay, pick a number.
-2.
Perfect. 2 points for Emily. So now, Austin, we are charting F double prime. That means we go back to our F double prime formula, and we simply say we got to figure out if the x value is -2. We do not care about numbers. All we care about are positives and negatives. We don't care about 0 either, because we already found those. So right here, this factor of F double prime, Austin, positive or negative for this x?
Negative.
Negative, so that's good. Put a negative there, 2 for Austin. Matthew, for this x, what will this factor be?
2.
True, so that's positive. Don't really care about the number.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, it's okay. So that means, 2 points for Matthew, that F double prime y coordinate when the x is -2 will be some negative number. We don't really care what negative number it is. That's the beauty of a sign chart. Numbers don't matter. Questions? Somebody raise your hand and tell me, why don't the numbers matter? Why do we not care?
Because in order to find if f is concave up, all we need to know is if it's positive.
F is concave up. When f double prime is positive, don't care what value f double prime has. Positive is all I need. Two more. So let's go to Michael. What would you suggest we do next if you can follow the pattern that we're creating here?
Between √2 and 0.
What number would you like?
-1.
That would be an excellent choice. Just like when you order something good at a restaurant. Excellent choice.
Yeah.
2 for Michael.
Isn't that when you order something expensive at a restaurant?
Oh, that's actually, oh, I like that even better. I'll pay a ticket for that one. I like that. Because good is relative. Expensive is not. Well, it is also, but at a restaurant it's not, because there's only so many prices. So Ezra, we're going to put this x equal -1 into our f double prime because we are charting the y coordinates of f double prime. First factor will be
And like -60.
yeah, who cares about the number, but you know, whatever you guys want to keep doing numbers, it's up to you. 2 points. Brady, second factor will be
Negative.
sweet. Negative times negative is
Positive.
positive. Questions? Please.
Well, I think, I see.
2 points for talking. Wesley, what would you do next?
Then probably do the one after 0, between 0 and √2, which would be 1.
Good. So if x is +1, we need the y coordinate of f double prime. Let's come back over here. First factor would equal positive. Second factor would be
Negative.
negative is better. Perfect. 2 for Wesley. Question. Tucker, what would be the next thing you would recommend?
Probably 2.
Sounds good to me.
What?
So we go 2 here. Plug that into f double prime. Tucker, what would be the first factor of f double prime here?
Be a positive.
Sweet. Second factor.
It'd also be a positive.
Therefore, we know that the y coordinate when x is equal to 2 is a positive value. So now you know this. Watch the last part, most important. Everybody look out for look. Most important thing, listen to my words. If you need me to say them again, just tell me. You now know that for x values from -infinity all the way to an x value of -√2, all y coordinates of f double prime are negative for all of those x's. You don't need to check any others. You are guaranteed that to be the case for the types of functions we will study, as long as you do this first. Okay? With me?
Not the zeros.
Yeah. Now you also know that for all x values from -√2 all the way to x equals 0, all the y coordinates of f double prime are positive. And then the pattern just continues. So from here to here, and then from here to here. So raise your hand, well, show me on your hand who knows the correct letter answer. Show me the correct letter answer, like, you know, like this. Show me the correct letter answer. Some people got it. Some people don't got it. We know that from x equal -infinity all the way to x equal -√2, f double prime is negative. We then know from -√2 all the way to 0, x equals 0, f double prime is positive. From x equals 0 to x equal √2, f double prime is negative. from x equal negative root 2 forevermore, f double prime is positive. Which letter answer is correct? So that would be a nice correction for some, and some are ringing in now. The correct answer is B. If you are showing B, give yourself 2 points. Question. Bothered by anything? Please.
Why does it say or in the answer?
I don't know. Gotta be honest, I don't know.
That's true.
To me, and is suitable. I'm not sure why you wouldn't just say
Yeah.
and.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know.
It's kind of an
Wish I knew I
in-depth,
was.
kind of an in-depth question. I see from negative square root of 2 and then all the way to 0, everything in there is positive, but we just found that by plugging in -1. Like, how do we know all those other points in between those two are positive?
It's a really good question. 2 points for that. The function we are dealing with is a function that is continuous. Therefore, if I have a y-coordinate of 0, and I don't have another y-coordinate of 0 for several x's, that means the graph had to be positive for all the x's in between. Otherwise, it would have had another 0. And for every problem I've ever seen on the AP test, that's true. So that's why if you do this first, you're assured of needing to only test a few points. You don't have to test all of them. Point.
So, are the functions we're given always going to be continuous?
Not necessarily, but if you always follow this rule, the one I said that they always pay you money, pay you points for, pay you
Yeah.
money for.
That is so nice.
Education does pay. Like I have, not just my salary, but the fact that I have a good degree, I got good grades for my degree, it paid off. The first payoff was, it's on the video, whatever. The first payoff was when I graduated from BYU, I got really good job offers. I got to do something that was unique and fun. I got to fly to California for a couple of days to interview with Exxon. I got to fly to Fort Worth, Texas to interview with General Dynamics, where they used to build the F-16. I was kind of, at that time I was busy with my home and I already had a little girl and everything. And so I was a little nervous about traveling too much. I probably should have been a little more adventuresome because I could have gone to Louisiana and also to New York for a couple of other job interviews. They would have flown me out and everything. They paid for all of that. That all paid off because of education. So it does pay. And then beyond that, it's just continued to pay. So
Which one did you work for?
I ended up choosing Exxon in California. Worked there for 2 years. So.
Why'd you stop?
What's that?
Why'd you stop?
They fired me. It's the truth. Like I was let go. They gave me a really good package. Like I worked there for 2 years. They said, I'm not sure that it didn't feel like I fit there. And it really was true. I had no interest in working for Exxon for the rest of my life. They really want lifers. They want people to just stay with them forever and who are willing to move around the country to their different offices. I wasn't really interested in doing that. They gave a really good, it was a really, how would you say, it was a good departure. Like they told me they were letting me go, it was like September 1st. I'd only worked there for 2 years. They said, we will continue to pay you until January 1st. So we'll pay you for 4 more months, your full salary. You keep your full health insurance for 4 more months, and your job description has just changed. Your job is to go find a new job. And they said, our HR department is at your disposal. Like you can come work with our HR people and use them to help you get another job. Like, so it was a really good party. Like they treated me really well. Like when I got the job with Exxon, they came to our little teeny student apartment with gigantic moving van. They took the car, they took all the furniture, they packed it all for us, everything. Okay, and then they flew us to California. They gave us a rental car for like a month. So while our stuff was coming, car and all this stuff, actually 2 cars, they shipped them both. They put us up in a hotel with food and lodging and everything, and I started working, and then once I found an apartment, they delivered all the stuff to our apartment. So education paid off. Like it was an awesome start.
I think it was more of Exxon that paid off.
But they wouldn't have paid off if I hadn't had the good grades. They wouldn't have given me the job offer.
What did you work in with Exxon?
So I worked in a, this is all on the video, we should stop.